Solander, the religious education assistant at the First Unitarian Church of Salt Lake City. This week, our UU of the week is Christopher Reeve. He is most remembered for playing Superman in 4 giant Hollywood movies between the years 1978 and 1987, although he actually acted in 45 movies and TV shows. They called him the Man of Steel, both as a nod to Superman's nickname, but also for his dedication to health and strength training that helped him prepare for the role. This dedication also helped Reeve navigate a devastating injury later in his life that left him paralyzed. He became an advocate for disability rights and also helped fund research and raise awareness for spinal cord injuries. After his accident, Christopher Reeve became a Unitarian. I think half a lifetime of social activism, a firm belief in science, and a public spiritual quest for meaning after his injury led him to the Unitarian Church. He said that becoming a Unitarian spoke to the guiding voice inside him that inspired him to do good things. Reeve decided he wanted to be an actor early in his life, but he promised his parents that he would take his education seriously. He chose to go to Cornell over many other offers from Ivy League universities. He eventually joined the theater troupe there, though, and attracted attention from several famous actors and big-time agents in New York and Hollywood. Before finishing his degree at Cornell, he somehow convinced the dean to allow him to transfer to Juilliard, which is a fancy school for performing arts, and somehow the dean accepted his first year there as his last year at Cornell. Clearly, he was very persuasive from the very beginning. Later in his career, he used his fame and persuasive nature for good when he worked on human rights and environmental issues with many groups like Amnesty International, the Natural Resources Defense Council, and People for the American Way. He also joined the Environmental Air Force. Reeve became an actual superhero in 1987 when the dictator Augusto Pinochet in Chile threatened to execute 77 actors. Reeve was asked to help save their lives, so he flew to Chile and helped lead a protest march. For his efforts, he was awarded the Grand Cross of the Bernardo O'Higgins Order, the highest Chilean distinction for foreigners. Later, Reeve joined the Creative Coalition, a liberal organization designed to teach celebrities how to speak knowledgeably about political issues. When he later became co-president of the Creative Coalition, he was even asked to run for Congress, but he said, "Run for Congress and lose my influence in Washington?" In 1995, Christopher Reeve was severely injured in a horse riding competition. He severed his spinal cord and became paralyzed from the neck down. His injuries were devastating and very difficult to recover from. He needed a machine to breathe for him and a wheelchair he could control with his mouth. When Reeve saw how much money it took to accommodate his injury with wheelchairs, a van, and ramps in his home, he felt for others with spinal cord injuries who did not also share his privilege. He started a foundation, which has given millions of dollars to buy things like wheelchairs, assistive technology, and ramps to improve the quality of life for people with spinal cord injuries. And he also donated millions more to stem cell research. He took a controversial stand and publicly expressed frustration in the 90s with the slow pace of this type of research in America. He blamed religious conservatives for stopping the science in its tracks. His foundation also funded new technology that uses exercise to reconnect pathways between the body and the brain, which has helped several paralyzed patients walk again. Reeve himself regained some ability to breathe on his own, although he still needed help, and he also regained some movement in his right wrist, one finger, and his feet. in the almost 10 years after his accident. Despite his injury and being in a wheelchair, Reeve continued his social activism and still acted in movies and on TV, and he even became a director. Spiritually, Reeve journeyed from atheism in his youth to redefining what it meant to be spiritual on his own before he finally joined the Unitarian Church. After his injury, people became especially interested in his thoughts on religion. During an interview with Larry King, many people called to ask if Christopher Reeve prayed. He said he didn't believe in the vengeful or scary God he had learned about as a child at church, but he did believe in spirituality. He said, "I believe that spirituality actually is automatically within ourselves, but we have to learn to access it and realize there is a higher power. More than just us, there is an inner strength. Perhaps really what it is love." Later, in an interview with Reader's Digest, they asked him why he became a Unitarian after nearly 50 years without religion in his life. He said, "It gives me a moral compass. I often refer to Abe Lincoln, who said, 'When I do good, I feel good, and when I do bad, I feel bad, and that is my religion.'" Reeve went on to say, "I think we all have a little voice inside us that will guide us. It may be God, I don't know. But I think if we shut out all the noise and clutter from our lives and listen to that voice, it will tell us the right thing to do." The Unitarian believes that God is good, inherently. The Unitarian God is not a God of vengeance, and that is something I can appreciate. Christopher Reeve died in 2004 at the age of 52 from complications from an infection, but he left behind a legacy in film, a world that's just a little bit more peaceful, and improved the lives of people with spinal cord injuries. Thanks for learning about our UU of the Week, Christopher Reeve.